there everybody, and welcome to the final video of 2024 or the start of 2025, the first video of the year if you're actually watching this on New Year's Day. Depends when you actually get a chance to actually watch it. But what we're going to be going through, well, we're going through the end of year review for Star Trek Fleet Command about what they actually brought in and has it brought any benefit to the game. Now, we have just finished the December arc, so I am recording this on the 30th of December. So as you can tell by the date just down in the far corner, you can see the time. That's because I've actually got the STFC website up on the screen as well, so we can actually review that through the various aspects. So how we're going to do today is we're going to look at what the 2024 roadmap said it was going to give us, which is what's on screen right now. Then we're going to go through what was actually delivered, but we're not going to go in depth. It's going to be literally skirt around the issue, point to this, and that's it. And then we're going to look at 2025 and what the promises for that. Also, I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think of 2024. And to be honest, it's not really much of a spoiler. I'm not that impressed with how things have actually gone. But we'll cover that a little bit later on. So, in the roadmap produced in December 23, this is what they actually started promises for 2024. So we've got the Ionite Nebula Instance PvP universe. We all know now that turned out to be the arenas. I will discuss that briefly a little bit later on in the video. So, yeah, did they give us what they promised us? Well, pretty much yes. But like I say, we'll discuss it a little bit later on. Dynamic boss hostiles. Not 100% sure what they actually meant by this one and what if that's actually been delivered. Maybe I've not realised that's what was actually delivered. So please drop it in the comment section down below. What was these dynamic boss hostiles? Because I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'm just too blasé and just, you know, I'll go kill this, I'll go kill this, you know. So the next one's at the bottom of the screen is Alliance Games. Now they did bring this in, Alliance Tournaments. Not exactly the beacon shining releases on this one, was it? But again, we will talk, if I remember, have I put that one into my, yes, I have put that in my feed, so again, we'll talk about later on. Now, the next one is the big one I want to come on to, and there's a reason why I don't think 2024 was very good. It's this one here, quality focus rather than quantity. A big focus for us in 2024 will be on quality rather than quantity. We'll discuss that a little bit later on. So realistically, that's what they gave us. And then obviously they did actually drop us a little bit of a hint. Where was it? I saw it just before I started recording. Oh yeah, here it is, saying that Enterprise was coming. That turned out to be the first arc of the new year of 2024 as well. So let's jump into this then for 2024 and see what we got. We're going to start with the officers. I'm going to keep this as simple as I possibly can. So let's organize them into their groups. And then we're going to start with a little bit lower down. I've already passed some of the new officers that came in, but I want to try and do this in order. So the first one then was the NX crew, starting here with T'Pol and going with Phlox. Who, hang on, let me get the thing right. Phlox here, and then obviously PIQ. Was PIQ brought in there as well? Yes, he was actually brought in as well. Join the NX01 series. As you can see, I've got them all unlocked. It's taken me a few months, took me a good few months to get them all unlocked. Archer was one I got unlocked on its release. Phlox was another one I got unlocked on release, and so was Trip. But yet the rares I found very, very hard to actually do. So realistically, are they a good crew? Well, to be honest, the only ones I actively use more now of is actually the rares, because what they actually come with is the below deck ability of actually mining a specific material. So now they're actually part of those particular crews that I have for mining. So like Topol here would be with my max cargo crew, which is also the ore mining crew. So she'll be with them. Now, obviously, what she also provides is also increase the protected cargo, but I don't use her for the officer ability, whereas Hoshi Sato, however, she is increasing cargo, but she's a gas miner. Well, all the gas miners are protected cargo. So, a little bit of a mishmash here, but again, with the likes of Trip, I mean, seriously, why an NX crew officer has a Voyager ability, I really do not know. It was a bit of a mishmash. They are reasonable officers, and this is a good little increase. I mean, mine's only tier 2, 60%, not bad realistically. Sourcing has actually come through as well in the NX refinery, but we'll mention that a little bit later on. So now, moving on, we had effectively Strange New Worlds Part 2, which was actually the Gorn invasion, and we saw a number of additions brought in during that. We had Pellier, we had hang on, let me get my crews right. So we had Pellier, we had the 3 epics here, we had Nurse Chapel, and that's it. Oh, did Dixon Hill come join in? I can't remember if Dixon Hill came then or whatever. In fact, there's no sourcing for him yet, still in the game. So, as you can see, I haven't got my 3 epics unlocked. I mean, obviously just above my head. Not unlocked yet, but I do have Pellier. She was literally unlocked about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And she was actually released in May. Yeah, May. And obviously Nurse Chapel's obviously here. She's one I went for straight away. I can't remember if I did manage to source her during the month. I think it was actually the following month when I finally actually got her. But it is what it is. And then obviously got 3 other epics. To be honest, in all honesty, right, my opinion of the Strange New Worlds editions are meh. But I haven't got the epics. So hang on, let me get my hands right. I haven't got the epics. So I can't really make a good judgment on them ones. But Nurse Chapel, bloody hell. Not only is she a gorgeous woman in the series herself, she is also one hell of a character in the game with her below deck ability, which is Protocol 12, increasing isolated cascade by 15%. Obviously maxes out at 40%. I do also like this, the fact they're actually telling us what it is at rank 5 is an encouragement to actually get there. Obviously mine's tier 3, so that's the way it is. Next up, we had the Mirror Universe officers, which are they a bit further down. Yep, here we go. So, Mirror Universe officers, starting with Mirror Data here, all the way through to Mirror Uhura. They were spread over a couple of months as well. They bringing in the Apex Barrier, which was a new feature brought into the game. I'm not a big PvP player, but as you can see here, I finally have a full set. I literally unlocked Mirror Picard today, the day of recording. It's the only, and that's thanks to the holiday show, the holiday events that they actually did. I can't remember which one it is. We'll probably look at that later. But Data, I've had pretty much from the following month of his release date. Troy, I actually got on a month because that particular month we was given a choice of being able, the only time this year, and I will bring this up a little bit later on, that we've been able to source a rare officer in the game, where we had the choice of Mirror Troy or Mirror Ezri. And the reason they put both these in is their officer ability, which this one here, as you can see, Troy gives me an increase in weapon damage of 450%. To me, at G5, that's not particularly very good, but hey-ho. And then obviously Ezri had the cleanup, where it's increasing kinetic weapon damage. Obviously went by the same. So, yep, okay, that's fine. But again, they're also increasing Apex Barrier, which is one thing that Mirror Picard brings. Let me have a think. No, that's Isolated Cascade, which is great. It's 50%, by the way, not the 150 you just saw, because I have them already on a ship. It's this one here is bringing the Apex Barrier, which is basically meaning that I can go twice as long in a fight at 10,000. So, but yeah, PvP officers, I'm not much of a PvP player myself, but it's great the fact that I now have an extra crew. I've got all 3 of the original strike teams now. I've got all 3 of the pick officers, Worf, Riker and Picard. I've got all 3 of them finally. What's the other one? Carol Freeman, I've got her with Honor Guard Worf, and now I've got the Mirror Universe. So I've got a bit of a selection of PvP officers, which is great. Well, there you go. So now one officer, obviously, that did come up as well as part of the NX fleet was Pick You. And realistically, I wouldn't say he's one of the better officers. I mean, gaining some extra materials when you're mining without draining the node faster. Okay, fair dues. But this is where his ability actually really does make a little bit more sense. I literally heard about a month or so ago about this invincible, this God, NX-01 God mode. Putting him on, a bunch of research and all that, and pretty much the NX-01 becomes massively invincible, will not lose any hull. The only time it'll actually lose is when it actually comes up against the big go-home gun. So, Pick You, I haven't sourced him yet. It does cost epic export credits, but there he is. So, I wouldn't exactly say he's a high-rate officer, but it's definitely very useful. Next up, we have the Galaxy Quest crew. Where are you? Here, just behind me. So let me. Oh, I can't raise the screen. So hang on. Let me move myself across so you can see them. So it's these 4 here. As you can see, the only one I've actually got unlocked so far is Dane. I went after him in an event store. It was an event store where I actually got him, which was the following month after his release. So now the only reason I went for him was the fact he increases impulse speed, so I can actually put him with the max impulse speed crew. But because I've got to mix that with my warp range crew as well, and depending on the ship would depend on the number of slots available. But it still works towards putting him with like the Klar crew or the Pan crew to also increase impulse speed. So I can still use him. Right, let's get him off the screen because he's getting a bit bored now, isn't he? Poor Alec Rickman. Rest in peace, my friend. He did a good job on that one, but then again, I really did like him in Harry Potter. Yes, sorry, I do like the Harry Potter films. Never read the books, so I wouldn't mind reading them, but I don't have the time to read them. So, but anyway, next week got whatever. So, yeah, okay. Right, the rest of the crew for me is yeah, all right. DeMarco, I've heard, is a fantastic officer as well. Brilliant, straight out the box. Was it the below deck? I think it was this one. 30% when an enemy player has any state, which is great. So isolated damage. Yeah, going up against the entities. That was part of Galaxy Invasion, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So that's that one. And I know for a fact I've still got some more officers to go. Yes, I actually wrote script for this to try and keep it short, but I'm not doing very good. Symbiosis officers. Again, I'm just going to move myself up here because I'm going to need to be out of the way for the Q crew. As you can see, I've only got 2. Tolly, I literally unlocked today. Again, day of recording. And, yeah. And, again, I only got Dr. Brown here, as has been nicknamed, this month. Both after their initial month of release. A couple of months later, actually. But again, I've not even got the epics, neither. Loot boosting crew. Yeah. There was a fleet commander also released. We'll talk about him just after we've done the Q crew, which is down the bottom here. So we've got like Spanish Q, as I call him, the French Q, and Starfleet crew Q. Not been able to source any of them. Sorin I managed to actually get because surprisingly I did actually pump a lot more materials into research and my base this month. So I was able to get Sorin, and as you can see I'm 19 shards up as well towards tier 2. But again, I haven't got Andromeda Ascendant here or Miss Q. Yes, I'm going to call her Andromeda Ascendant because Romy, well, that's where I know it from. Andromeda. So, oh god. Dexter Drugay or something. No. Oh, yeah, I can't remember her name. It's a weird name. But she did also play in Stargate SG-1 Seasons 9 and 10. So that's where I developed a bit more of a fascination, for a liking for her, should I say. As a person, the character. And it was shocking, actually, that she married Michael Shanks in real life as well. So, who was on set buddy. But anyway, so that's the officers. So the next one, obviously, we're going to quickly touch on as well is going to be Fleet Commander Lorca. Again, thanks to incursions this month, well, last 3 months actually, because we 1, 3, 4 have actually been pretty good. We finally won 3 on the bounce, and I've been able to source Gabriel Lorca. I've been through his thing. I will do a separate video on for him in January at some point. Because everyone has been hyped up with this Lorca's Fist. So let's put me back down. As his ability, I found a massive downside to this one. A massive downside, but I understand why it's there. So if we jump into his skill tree, 3 different abilities: combatant, leader, and technician. I've gone to open up as many of these gold-sided ones. Are we going to open it up so I can actually read it? So, like, base officer stats. Yep, okay. I've taken him straight to rank 18, so I've got a load of things. Shield health, always on, so that's going to be nice for me. Also, a boost in hull health. I maxed this one out straight away. So this is giving me 1,000% increase, which is rather nice. And also, I got the fist, and I've ranked this one straight up as far as I can go. So as you can see, I've got a 13,000% increase in damage. Again, I will show that in a video, but as a New Year treat, I'll tell you what I'll do. I have battle logs for this one recently because I've got a target just outside my base, the hostile captain, and as you can see, I went up against him. So this was without the ability. I went straight in with the ability on first. Bad idea if you wanted to show something, but it wasn't initially planned. And so just to give you an idea of what damage I'm actually doing, again, I'm going to move me, like I used to do, move myself into middle. So as you can see, standard damage is around about 3.7, 3.8 million, with a critical down here at the bottom of 10 million. And here you go, 11.5 million critical. So that gives you an idea of what standard damage I'm dealing. So there's a kinetic weapon doing 9 million damage as it is. Now, if we actually look at the one before it, where I actually used Lorca's ability, again, I will put this in the Lorca video, 14.7, critical, 45 million. Big numbers, and that is 13,000% increase. So, let's just jump into here. So, standard damage here, 15 million, so that was a low gun, again. But again, still hitting that critical of 45 million. Low kinetic weapon of 38, 39 million. So damage there, cracking 127. 127 million. So yes, I inflicted a lot more damage on it there compared to what I did on the following run. With the exact same crew as well. The exact same crew. And I'm also sporting below deck, if we actually call it up. I'm sporting Hugh, Nurse Chapel, and fix it right up. That's Mariner, Mariner Beckett, or Beckett Mariner, whichever way around it goes. So that's what I was sporting on the ship. Both runs. Lorca has that fantastic ability. As you can see, at the minute the cooldown is on just literally under 4 hours. Sadly, that is actually for me at rank 18 level 90, 9 hours cooldown. 9 hours cooldown. But so that's the downside for me with Lorca. I wasn't aware. I knew there was a cooldown, didn't realise it was that big. But it is what it is. He's still a fantastic officer for me. So he's very powerful, very OP. So the problem is as well, it doesn't last very long. It does not last very long. But again, we'll discuss that in his video. So overall, officers have been, yeah, I won't exactly say they've been the best officers that we've had this year, but they are what they are. A couple of good exceptions. Nurse Chapel, definitely. Who else was there? Yeah. But again, DeMarco as well. A good one for PvP. Mirror Universe for PvP, bringing the Apex Barrier in. Yeah. But again, this year we had 17 epics in the game and 17 rares. So now as well, I will clarify as well that I pulled all this information from the patch notes. I literally went through them all over the last couple of days to actually pull as much information but keep it as short as possible. So, sourcing this year. I believe I've already mentioned it. I can't remember if I did. I've been prattling on too much. Not a single rare could be sourced in their launch month. Not a single one. Whereas in previous years, we have had at least one rare on its launch in the Battle Pass, in events. Nothing this month. Absolutely nothing. Nothing this year, actually, in 2024. The only way I've been able to source the rares that I have got was sourced after. And in some cases, a few months after. Scopely, that's not the best way to get us to have these officers and give us a... Yeah. So, I am very, very disappointed the fact that officer sourcing for this year has been so tremendously low. But it's put an emphasis on something that I will mention a little bit later on. So, moving on to features then. I'm going to focus on some of the big ones. Let's start with arenas. Obviously, we can't do arenas. Today is Monday. Arenas should be on, but they've actually pulled arenas down. Oh, can I not actually access it? No, I can't access it. Okay, so we'll quickly discuss it. They pulled it down last week because there was a few issues. It's a brilliant thing. I'm not going to deny it. There is a lot of strategy involved. There's a lot for you to think about in ways of winning. Taking on hostiles, taking on players, taking on armadas, all in the single system. So PvE, armadas, and PvP. Yeah. Brilliant. Times it runs, very, very poor. Very poor. We have people working shifts in this country. I'm sure it's the same in America and a lot of other countries. But we also have a particular shift called the 2 to 10 shift. 2 PM till 10 PM. Guess when Incursions runs in the UK? 2 PM to 10 PM. What chance have they got to play this event? They haven't. They've not got a single chance to play it. And the only time I usually get to play it is after 8 PM. But I've still got to do a lot of my other stuff that I haven't done during the day, like all my button pushes. As you can see, the claim button over there is saying 25. I've not even pulled my daily pulls yet. I'll be doing them after the recording. But some people are very busy during the day. Having it in an evening, say starting at 5 PM and going all the way through to maybe 2 AM, that would actually give players a lot more time to participate. Yes, fine. A lot of players are also dropping off of the game from around about 11 PM. 10, 11 PM, depending on if they've got an early starting one, say like a 6 till 2 shift, which is the early shift, or they're starting at 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I mean, even some night shift workers could actually sit there playing it, especially like some of the security guards who really not got much work to do, and they just sat there watching the screen all night and nothing ever happened, so they could just jump in. I'm not saying that they actually do that, but they could. So in all, arenas, brilliant. Another thing I've mentioned as well is the repairs. Great the fact we've actually got free repair speed ups, which means instant repairs. However, it's a 2-minute timer when you've got none of them. And if you can send all 7 ships out and you've got them all destroyed and you're still waiting on that first ship to be repaired, you're out of the game. You're out of the game. So the repair side of it is, it's good on one hand if you've got the tokens. Scrap the tokens, just give us instant repairs so we can get our fleet back in. Yeah? Let us do that. Just give us instant repairs. There's no need to charge us for it. There's no need to... Just give us it. You know, out of the goodness of your heart, for God's sake, Scopely. Never going to happen. So, some pros, some cons for arenas. But obviously, they're making some changes at current. We're hoping it's going to be back at some point in January. Well, we'll actually see. Because that segues nicely into Alliance tournaments. Another event that was brought in as well during 2024. I can't remember when exactly it is on all the paperwork, actually. Come on. And that is this one here. So luckily this one we can access because it's just there permanently. So basically, obviously getting us a load of tasks. We've got leaderboards to go through. You've got the ability to look how you're doing in comparison to your own alliance, and then you've got a start again, which again there's nothing here at current because it's not actually activated. However, we've only had about 2 runs of this so far, and yeah, okay, it's not been particularly too bad, but they could really use a what's the way to put it, all the different things in the game. They have limited to certain things, and then you've got like the lower point end of things, you don't get any of the currency. You've got to go for the high end, which is usually the spender's end. So there are a few in the middle, so let's not judge it too unfairly. I think the game's crashed. Great. So yeah, Alliance tournaments, it's reasonable when it actually runs. Let's get this sorted out. Okay, so sorry about that. The game obviously crashed as we were, so I just reset it. But another thing that was brought in with Alliance tournaments was the new Emerald Chain, which is the same as the Syndicate XP Syndicate Chain, but obviously this is based entirely for working with your alliance, giving you some extra buffs, extra stuff within the store as well. And also this officer here, which has got 3 abilities: a captain's ability, officer ability, and below deck ability. If I honestly thought anything, I thought the first person to have all 3 abilities would actually be the Board Queen. No, she's vastly underutilized in this game. But yeah, so as you can see, some nice little payouts here as well, and this goes all the way up to level 30. But you will be able to fully max her out exactly the same way as you can with Grush, Mavry, and the other Syndicate officer who was also added. I forgot to mention him earlier, but again, is that important? I've not done it. So yeah. So that's Alliance times. Also, Galaxy Invasion was also brought in. There's nothing for me to bring up on screen at current for this one, but this was done through the Galaxy Quest, basically going out, killing out some new hostiles and everything. But while the game was reloading, I just quickly checked what I'm going to be talking about a little bit later on in the video, and it turns out these dynamic boss hostiles, that's Galaxy Invasion. Yeah. So it is what it is. Sourcing for Gwen DeMarco, and one of the ships that we're also going to be talking about, the NSEA Protector. So one other thing I quickly want to bring up as well, let me have a quick look at this one. How can we do this? We'll do it with this particular building. Is this particular ability here, the smart speed ups. This is a fantastic idea, but seriously, Scopely, you did a half-ass job on this one. Literally a half-ass. Because as long as you've got the speed ups to actually do the work, it'll work. But if you don't have the speed ups, it doesn't bloody work. It will not calculate the amount of latinum. Not everybody uses just speed ups. A lot of players use latinum as well. I'm one of them. I use a lot of latinum. So to me, this is a half-ass job. It's a great concept, don't get me wrong. It's literally been almost the point of 2024. We're going to give you a half-ass job. This could be better. It can be better. Scopely, get back and fix this bloody thing to also include latinum. Because, I mean, seriously, I thought it was just primarily when you got down to these 3 at the bottom, the bronze. Nope. It will also be because I don't have enough day speed ups as well to do 84 days. Or I don't have enough 12-hour speed ups, which 12 hours, how much is that? Well, it's only 8 days. Just under 10%. It's about 9% of what I need. So, yeah. Great concept. Not done properly. Again. But anyway. So, we were also introduced to 5 new ships this year as well. We had the NX-01, which I've got on dock right here. So, let's call it up. This went on to the... yeah. This is primarily, basically, against aquatics. When it was brought in, I mean, it's nice ship. I mean, this is the NX refit, the actual refit that they brought in the following month. Or was it the actual month? Oh, don't freeze up on me again, please. Shit, come on. Here we go. Sorry about that, it froze up. But as you can see, I've already got it to tier 9. It's relatively easy and quick to tier up. Sourcing for it again took around about 3 months, and that's pretty much going to be the same for all 5 ships this year. It's around about a 3-month, 100 days. Sorry, 100 days sourcing. If you do the max, but it also brought with it an NX refinery, where you can get a lot more Exborg. As you can see, I've not even done my pulls in here yet. More Exborg credits. So like this one here will do the NX pull while you're here. So as you can see, you're going to get a token for the Death Expanse, which allows you into aquatic space. And then all these credits, because we was given the reptilians in January, we got the aquatics in February with the actual ship. So you're going to get to see my pulls here. Also, this is nicely upgraded stuff and choice opportunity chips as well. Come on, click. And they're going to be good. Here's a huge source, as you can see here. 175 epic credits. Go on, I'll tell you what, we'll pull it. This is for tier 9. Wow, I've got 3 shards. So it will take you time. There is a cooldown timer on all this, of course. Yep. And then obviously we were given this when you actually got the refit. You got this extra token and a little bit of resources as well, which was nice. Now here comes the best bit. Sorry, interruption there. I've just lost my train of thought. So we're going into the opportunity chest. We're also given these where you got a safe option to go for should you want to, which will give you a guaranteed pull, or you could actually go into the risky one where you've got a choice of what you're actually going to get. So let's have a look what we're going to get on this one. Okay, epics I'm a little bit disappointed with. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the low end on that one. It does make you think that maybe you should go after the safe option more often, but it is what it is. And then obviously you've got this one, which is literally just the rares and epics again, safe option or a risky option. And because I don't have the community mod, I can't show you it. So NX-01, yeah, okay, it's pretty much a one-trick pony. It does have a decent cargo bay with it as well. So as you can see here, just under 13 million. So it will rival the Talios in cargo capacity. If we bring up the Talios, minus 12.5 million for a tier 11. So yeah, you can use it as an OPC hunter should you wish to as well. Right, let's get myself back in my corner. Next up is going to be the Gorn Eviscerator. Again, got that one on dock as well. So let's have a quick look at this one. This was brought in to fight the Gorn hostiles and also bring out some a new currency. Again, this came with its own refinery as well, which was part of this one, which also gives you sourcing for the Strange New Worlds officers, gives you some ship parts. Can't do the G5 until I get to tier 7, and then obviously, and also these, which was brought in from the first month of the Gorn invasion arc. So I mean, these are pretty nice. I'm not going to go around pulling all these. I'll do it all a little bit later on. But like I said, this is your sourcing for the new Strange New Worlds segment. Why they couldn't put it all together, I really don't know. That's Scopely for you. So that's the Gorn Eviscerator. Yeah. NSA Protector is going to be our next ship, but obviously I don't have her out at the minute. Not quite a one-trick pony, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's quickly get her brought up, if we can actually just get it working. So, switch ships, and I guarantee she's going to be up here. She's actually my 4th or 5th most powerful ship right now. So, she's also got a decent cargo on her. For, what is it, T6 right now? 6 million. Again, this is another, effectively, another OPC hunter. I've written down Vidar 3.0. Well, actually, when you think about it, no. NX-01 could be 3.0. This one could be 4.0. So, OPC hunting. But this one's designed to go after the Mirror Universe. She's brilliant at killing the Mirror Universe. She's an absolute dream when it comes to mining the Trellium for the Mirror Universe. Way better than my tier 5 Nova ever was. My Nova's actually gone up to tier 7 now. But yeah, she's a fantastic ship. Can't dispute that one. But yeah, so fantastic ship. Again, and sourcing was through the Galaxy Invasion, which was supposed to be every 2 weeks. Yeah, can't say much more on her. Great ship. In all honesty, she is a great ship. Now, the next one I'm going to bring up, I'm not quite sure what segment it is. I think it was a battleship. Yep, the Vindicator. I've not got this one yet. It's the only one of the ships that I've not been able to source. Basically, one-trick pony. It is a one-trick pony. It's designed to get the Armadas. Yes, it's designed to send in against Armadas and attract all the damage off the Armada using its ability to taunt, which is this one right here. So, at the start of combat, opponent Armadas will target the Vindicator for 20 rounds. Upgrading to increase the taunt duration to over an hour at tier 18, as well as decrease its cooldown as well. Don't know what the cooldown is on it, so, but as well, Fettered Revenge increases weapon damage by 5% for 5 rounds each time you are hit by the Armada, and it does stack. So effectively, it does get stronger. It was brought in as a tank. Sourcing for it, however, is going to be one of the most ridiculous ways I've seen to source a ship right now. Because why? This is the faction store that was brought in with the arenas. I should have actually mentioned this earlier, but to be honest, not much there. The one thing I will point out as well is the repair tokens. You got to pay. You got a cost on them to actually, if you want to get them. I'm not buying any at the minute. I'm trying to get this Syndicate acquisition, but I need 18,000. I don't think I'm going to make it. But yeah, putting the Vindicator in here, asking it to come go after the uncommon Terran credits. They were twice the price of this when it was put in here, but they cut the price in half. But this thing has absolutely nothing to do with arenas. It has absolutely nothing to do with arenas, unless you're actually going to consider it against the solo Armadas or the group Armadas. But again, you're going to need that at a higher tier for it to be effective. So realistically, to me, it has no sense being here. I mean, if you could provide me an explanation why this thing should be in the arenas for sourcing, I'm all ears and I'm prepared to change my view. However, I don't think it belongs here. I've not got any of the blueprints yet because it's going to cost me more than 6,700 to actually get 200 blueprints, and there is a 22-hour cooldown timer on it. So, yeah. I'm not happy with the sourcing on this one. I think it's absolutely crap. Now, there is a refinery for the Vindicator as well, but I don't have access to it because I don't have the ship. But that's a great sourcing for all your materials when it comes to the fleet commanders. So, in a sense, yes, it'll be good, but it is pretty much a one-trick pony. And it's requiring you to do Armadas every Thursday because there is an event for it as well, for you to be able to get the parts to upgrade it. Hee! So, yeah. Now, the final ship is another one which I've not got yet, but but it's in the works. If we go to the refinery, and that is the Reverend, and it's been placed in here. But yeah, this was brought in to basically fight the new Borg solos that we've been given and group armadas. So yeah, again, also comes with its own refinery, which is here in the continuous, so it's going to be nice and easy. And we can have a quick look at this. As you can see, this is sourcing for loads of guaranteed stuff, speed ups and materials and resources, particles and parts. The particles are for the research, and if we go over to here, these are more materials where you got a guaranteed section, and then you've got a choice as well. So yeah, out of the 5 ships, in a sense, I've got to say the Reverend looks like it's actually going to be the best one of the 3. I've got to admit the Protector though is a fantastic ship as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much all I can say about what was brought in. Sorry about that quick edit there. My daughter doesn't seem to be very well. That was the last interruption. She came in, just gave me a hug, and then told me she loved me and left, which was nice and cute, but I didn't realise she was looking a bit pale until she's gone down to see her mum and actually got paracetamol she doesn't like taking. So we know she's not feeling too good. But anyway, so that's 2024 then. My overall opinion, yeah. How do I put this politely? It's been more of a spend year. Literally spend year. Because as I've already mentioned, the rare officers, you couldn't source one during the month. You could get the epics if you've got the materials. But where was you getting the rares? The pay store. It was literally spend. The ships, granted, the first month they come out, it is $100. It's how they make their money. And I'm not going to criticise them for that. Because they have to make money. Because if they don't make money, we don't have a game. Let's face facts on that one. But this year has been heavily spending. Obviously, we have with the release of G6 as well last year. So a lot of players have also been spending into that, working their way around that. A lot more players have gone up into G6. I think there's about 5,000 now in the various stages of G6, including the highest level free-to-play player, which is great. We've got a free-to-play player up there. He did an interview with Rev Juice, which Rev's putting the 2-parter, so check out his channel for that one. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's been the best year. Not by a long shot. Now, the biggest question on this one, and I'm actually interested to hear your comment on this one. Quality over quantity. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. We need to go to Galaxy View. I forgot to mention the buildings that we've had this year as well, because they're meant to come in before I do the overall. But we've had a few buildings. Just quickly mention the holodeck. Meh. All the missions are in there now. The war room, nice little amounts of materials and resources, all based around PvP. District 56, which pretty much basically increases time in the mirror universe. Nova Squadron, which gives you 9 pieces of research towards various different buffs actually, which is quite nice. And the Independent Archive, which we'll discuss quickly in just a moment. But anyway, so we're talking about quality over quantity. Well, you've got Wave Defense. We had these 2 yellow ones put in when Mirror Universe expanded. We had these 2. Wave defenses are intensive, time intensive. You've got to organise a fleet if you're doing it within your alliance. Thankfully, though, you can actually do it with anybody off your server. But and you can't do PvP in them. But it's time intensive to sort out your alliance. Then organising the fleet, whether it's within your alliance or with other players from your server, into who's going to take on what, and that's if they even talk. That's even if they bother to answer messages. They could do with their own independent chat system, realistically. And then obviously the designed to last 10 rounds, which is fine. But it lasts as long as a 15-minute Armada, really. But anyway, so adding in this year, we've got the Delphic Expanse here, which was NX01. We've got the Little Christmas Tree, which has got Silent Enemies, again, NX01. You've got Q Space over here, which was Q Continuum. Arc, which is November, December. You got Mirror Universe here, which is all Galaxy Quest and the Mirror Universe. Galaxy Quest had this little extension up the top here. What else did we have? I'm sure we had more. Oh yeah, the Galaxy Invasion. This little barrier of systems all the way up here. So, and then obviously around the galaxy would be dotted specific systems where these new hostiles would come up. The dynamic boss hostiles, which is actually in this area of space up the top here. So realistically, a lot of content has been added to the game and a lot to do. That's not quality over quantity. That's quantity. That's shoving stuff in. However, working in Scopely's favour on the quality, like I said, there have been a number of quality of life updates as well. Another big one that I will give kudos to, and it actually works, shock horror, will be if you go into your dailies and is this here is the claim all button right here. This was added in November, I think it was, and then this bit to separate your factions out of it was added in December. So that's a nice little addition. The smart speed ups, yes, nice addition, but again, half-assed job on that one. But the for quality, the IA building was a great quality of life improvement for players. Basically shoving in some older loops that you don't have to do anymore. And I'll tell you how I mean you don't have to do them anymore. I don't have to do Monaveen. I don't have to do Voyager. I don't have to do Talios. Well, Voyager and Talios when I finally unlock them. But the Monaveen, that is one I still actively did. Normal Vidat and Botany Bay loops I don't even touch anymore. I don't literally touch them. I've not touched them in 2 years. More than 2 years, like 3-4 years, something like that. But Monaveen was one I was still doing this year. No more. Voyager, when I finally get my Voyager up to tier 12, again, I'm not going to be doing Voyager anymore. In fact, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't do it except for Voyager. This new weekly event. It's the only time I do Voyager. The Talios, again, I don't even touch this. Literally, I don't. The only time the Talios really comes out now is if I actually catch somebody OPC, which I did today with a 1.7 million raw G5 gas. Thanks very much for that one. I had to send my Nova out to collect it, but because my Talios couldn't reach. I didn't want to use the Eviscerator because I didn't want to alert someone else from his alliance in that system that I was going to kill him. I wanted him to believe I was here grinding. No. It was nice to do that, but yeah, again, so I won't have to touch these. But as well, this here Claymore means I can literally shove every single one into one big pull. Great. Saves me. Okay, then you get errors like this where it's multiple screen. But this is the Monaveen one. Look at these resources I'm getting. Materials, yeah, okay, fair dues. I'm not bothered about the shipyard directives or the parts. The parts I don't need because the ship's already at tier 12. Research, yes, I could do without doing the research. But that is a quality of life improvement. And so, yes, I will say there have been various quality of life improvements this year. But again, they've also shoved in a lot of content. So, whereas, for instance, these three I've taken out, they've replaced it with the Elorian hostiles in the Q space. The Delphic Expanse, the Mirror Universe. But luckily, I've got to a point now I don't have to do them daily. If we actually jump into the refinery for the Mirror Universe stuff and take a look at my Raw Trelly Mate, I've got 2.9 million. I only need 180,000. I literally did 2 runs with the NSA detector mining and I've got enough materials to last me weeks. I mean weeks. And if we actually look at where's the other bit for it, is this one, the Liquid Trillium. Again, go out, do a couple of runs. There's a Sunday event for me now where the Swarm Sunday is now changed to me doing the Protector in Mirror Universe. I've got enough loot to keep me going, and it cost me 9,000. I've got enough loot to keep me going for a month, if not more. I mean, Jesus Christ, yeah, it's about a month, 5 weeks there of loot, and that just continues to build. And bearing in mind, I get destroyed all the time, and so which means I'm losing all the loot in my cargo bay, and I've only just got the chests. The loot chests are just the ones that's keeping me topped up. So, in a sense, yes, some of them have been reduced to weekly grinds to coincide with the events. But yeah, so that is 2024. So quality over quantity, not in my personal opinion. If you're going to take some grinds out, you don't add the exact same number, or if not more, in to compensate. I mean, it's like this faction bloody hunt, that's still a flipping grind. Let's get that dealt with. So, but there are things I would like to see come into the game. We've had 5 specialty ships this year. How about we start expanding the factions? You know, give us more faction ships. Jesus Christ, the Federation alone have got like 100 different designs. Anybody who's played the game, Star Trek Bridge Commander, there's loads of different designs for the different factions in there. And I tell you, there's been a new release as well. I can't remember what it's called, but there's been a new release where there's loads more different designs of ships. Do that. But do we want crossovers? I don't want a Star Wars crossover. I don't want a Battlestar Galactica. Galaxy Quest, I understand, because it was a Star Trek piss take. But again, really? So, but yeah, I mean, I like this event as well. Head of the curve. This gives you some tokens towards things. Again, another quality, another improvement was the way they did the daily events. A massive improvement. What they need. I'm not happy with certain ones, like these 2 in particular, when they're both SMSs. I'm not happy with these. I haven't always got the ship parts to do it. I haven't always got the materials to do it. Really? So, but yeah. So, quality over quantity, not in my personal opinion, when you've got lots of grind to do. But again, I'm not going to deny that there has been some quality of life updates. So, now, let's move on to 2025, shall we? And here's the roadmap for it. So let's actually just take this full screen up now. I'm just going to reduce. Actually, I should be all right. So we've already got a hint of what we're going to see in 2025 in the first image. So we've got the Krenim time ship and Krenim warships themselves coming into the game. So, and Voyager. This is the badly damaged from the Year of Hell parts 1 and 2. Actually, this is more specifically part 2. Because all this damage happened at the end of part 1. When that entire deck 5 blew out, the Doctor had to close the hatch on 2 people. But he still managed to save loads of other people. So we've got them coming in. And later on, I'm going to tell you what I think this is actually going to be. I'll tell you what I think it's going to be. And I'll be shocked if I'm right. And then you've got a Wells-class starship here. Now, anyone who can remember what the Wells-class starship is from the episode Relativity, where 7 of 9 was recruited to capture Captain Braxton, who'd had a temporal psychosis breakdown and tried to destroy Voyager with a temporal disruptor. So it'll be interesting to see if we actually get that ship. But that's going to tell me we're going to be getting another specialty ship, and it's going to be the Wells-class. There is a video as well on Star Trek Fleet Command's YouTube channel. So if you've got half an hour to spare, by all means, go check it out. So they've briefly reflected on what they brought in. The crossover, the Galaxy Quest, so they brought that in. The arena combat, the dynamic hostiles, which is the invasions. Alliance games, again, which is something that is a hit and miss of whether it runs. And the Enterprise expansion, which brought in new immersive storylines. Way. So, what we got coming for 2025? Well, they're saying quality of life improvements. So they are still looking at making our gameplay a lot easier to do, which is great to hear. Animation skips, which means basically something they tried to bring in here in December, which was basically when you click on something, it just collects it. It doesn't go to another screen that says click the word done to actually clear this screen. Doesn't say that. I'm making that bit up. But it actually does say done at the bottom of the screen, just for you to clear it. View screen button relocation, so that should be interesting to see where that's going to go. Faster UI loading times. Again, it mentions here with the faction store loading screen. Wasn't very smooth, wasn't very quick. So they actually took it down very, very fast. Enhanced galaxy map display. Add in housing planets and visible missions, so you can find them a lot easier when you've actually opened the system. Social and gameplay enhancements are going to bring in as well, so they're going to increase things with public squads and public armadas. So I'm guessing they're going to be bringing in new armadas for that to particularly happen. Refine all feature, streamlining the resource refinement with bulky refine and reduce time effort, because it is a pain in the ass to go through that refinery and click every single button. In order to do my buttons, it takes me 15 minutes when I actually do it. So when I get off this, I will be able to get it done. And then obviously your exocoms, you have to have your ships docked for them to be activated. Now your ships can be in the field and it will transmit that power to that ship. So like your miners, using the mining excom, you now can speed it up while you're mining. And then officer hot swapping, which will allow you to change officers while your ship is still deployed. Obviously they're going to still continue to expand the universe, bringing in Voyager, celebrate Voyager's 30th anniversary with new arcs. Now I'm going to say this again, I'm throwing it off the top. 6th of January 2025, Voyager Part 2, Part 1. So that is my presumption. I'm not saying it is, because like I said, I'm not NDA. I do not have access to that information, so I can throw it out there and say that's what's coming, and then be called a liar afterwards. So, but anyway, section 31, uncovering the mysteries of Starfleet's covert operations in a brand new storyline. So we've got that coming, and they are finally going to bring in the Wrath of Khan. This is something that even Rev Juice mentioned about wanting to see for 2024. Never happened. So we're getting the Wrath of Khan through new missions and challenges. What that's going to bring, I do not know. There is a link. Ooh. Is that linking going to work? Is it actually going to switch us to something? If this is going to be just a Wikipedia page... Seriously? They linked it to a Wikipedia page. No, we want information on the event. But obviously they're not going to give us that kind of information so fast. Streamlined leveling and core content as well. So they're going to be they have said that they're going to add more stuff to the independent archives. They said that in the video, which is going to be like your Devors, your Stella, and probably your Franklin as well. So again, there's stuff I don't do anymore, but it'll be nice to collect the rewards for free. G6 are also going to get some freebooters coming in. They got solo armadas here in 2024, so that will be great for them. Daily goals update, so we'll be reworking the daily goals to include better rewards and a more efficient structure, ensuring progression becomes more rewarding and accessible for all players. So sneak peek at the future then. So this year will be innovation and creative, from bold new gameplay mechanics to exciting IP expansions like Voyager and the Wrath of Khan. So much to look forward to. Here's some concept art for you to look at. Now, before we actually look at the art, I'm just going to say everything for 2025 is already planned. It's already there. January through June's features and everything, and any ships coming, are already built. February onwards will be undergoing testing. At least we presume they'll be undergoing testing. January's will pretty much be done. They'll be doing the final parts of testing during the first week of January. I'm guessing, like I said, again, I don't have inside information. I'm using my noggin here. I'm thinking, okay, they might be doing this. This is potentially what they could be doing. But 2025 is already planned. They have said this before, where they do plan 12 to 18 months in advance. So if there's anything we do want to see come into the game, the earliest we can see is 2026. So like the faction expansion, bringing in more different ships. I would say 2026 earliest before we could even see something like that. But again, we'd have to propose it, something like that now. There is a suggestions channel, I do believe, on their official Discord. Go over, check it out, throw your ideas and say, look, right, We want to see this come into the game. We want to see this come into the game. And I'm sure you might get a few players who actually agree with you on that one. But anyway, looking at this concept art then, so we've got a new M73 Borg Group Armada. This looks like the Polygon Armada. So I'm guessing they're going to be bringing in some different versions of this, even though we've got the type 0.0, 0.1 and the 0.2. Here we've got 7 of 9 and Tuvok in different clothing. So I'm guessing this is becoming part of the Voyager arc that we're going to see from January. Again, that's my presumption that Voyager is the first arc. I'm sure it's a no-brainer. We've got Captain Proton and Mr. Evil himself in black and white. I'm presuming the characters will come in black and white, but the guys in that video as well did actually mention they toyed with the idea of making the transporter bay, where you normally see these, black and white, but they said that was going a bit too far. So we might see the black and white characters at least, but maybe, I don't know, they might add some colour to it. This image, I'm guessing, is going to be from like Section 31, from the trailers I've seen of Section 31. This looks something similar to what I've seen on there. Not quite as vacant and as calm as I saw in the trailer. Looks like we've got a new building coming as well this year as well. With a new light flow animation, which is just going to circle around the edges here. I want to put my finger on to do it, but that's not going to help you see what I'm on about. So we've also got this as well, I'm guessing, as another new building. Yeah, so the first thing is, looks like an looks like it's EVE or EYE. So at the beginning, right down the bottom here. But again, it's just material reference. Final concept might be slightly different. Some digital displays, not quite sure what that's going to be in aid of, but again, possibly Section 31. Maybe this building could be in relation to something to do with Section 31. We don't have a Section 31 building at current, so maybe, who knows. A couple of images of some space. It would be nice if we actually saw things like this, but hey ho. And then a transport ship of some sort. So this looks like it could be a specialty ship that we might be seeing later on in the year. Given the fact it's at this stage, it still looks like it's just plastic molds. I'm guessing this is going to be for later on in the year. Next up, we've got some new Romulan ships coming. Could this indicate T7? Sorry, G7. I'm not convinced. G7. If we follow the pattern, 2025 would be the release of G7. But again, we've not got enough players in G6 to high level G6 to really warrant G7 just yet. But this is Scopely, anything's possible. Now, to me, this looks more like the seed ship from Stargate Universe. For those of you who haven't seen that Stargate Universe, I do recommend you check out. Season 1 was a bit bleh. Season 2 is really where it picked up, but the one thing is, they decided to cancel the show at Season 2. And they left it on such a cliffhanger, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it and have got no interest in watching it, spoiler alert, the crew end up in stasis, but one has to stay out to try and fix the final stasis unit, and he's only got 2 weeks to do it. And he's the youngest crew member. And the smartest. So, but he really came into his own during the show. He really did. But the seed ships that they encountered in Season 2, that's what this thing looks like to me. So, and then obviously we've got one of the assimilated Elorian ships as well. So, not quite sure what that is. Now, here's my prediction for the Voyager arc. Epic formation Armadas. Yes. The time ship is going to be an epic formation Armadas. We've got the uncommons, which is dotted around standard Delta Quadrant space. In fact, let's call it up, right? So, let's get into space, not into my system. So, if we scroll all the way up here, so we've got standard formation Armadas. all around here, and they're all green uncommon. Okay, they're all green uncommon. Now, if we move over here to here, we have rare formation armadas. There's still space around here to put the epics. Yep, there is still space to put the epics in. So I think that we will be getting epic formation armadas, which are going to pay in towards some new artifacts and everything. But that's just my prediction for that one. So, and that's it. That's pretty much all they've got for us. So it'll be interesting to see what they do bring out. I'm not quite sure what this is at the end here. Maybe it looks like a frog's butt or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what they're bringing. My interpretation for 25. I'm going to be open about it. It can't be any worse than 24, where it has felt more like a spender's year. But we'll see what it does next year and what they've actually got planned. But it's nice the fact they've given us a heads up about Voyager coming and the Wrath of Khan, and the fact they've teased here that it's going to be the Krenim time ship and in the shape of a formation armada here. So, but anyway, sorry the video has gone on a lot longer than I was hoping to. I was hoping the script would actually keep me on key, but unfortunately it hasn't. But let me know what you think about 24. How did you feel about this year? Drop it in the comment section down below. And also, let me know what your opinion is of that. And 2025. Do you think we're looking at a good year, maybe? Do you think even G7 could be coming out? I don't think it is, in all honesty. I don't even think they've started building it, but hey ho. I won't be surprised. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope you had a fantastic new year whenever you get to watch this video. But until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you in 2025. Goodbye.